Okay, so I videoed some more during our practice. So this first drill is what we use to warm up. I call it tennis, but other people call it different things. So pretty much the girls are starting off with a throw, warming up their shoulders, and they get one throw per each side, and then they go into one pass, two pass, three pass, and then essentially it's like 2 versus 2. So I recorded each little step, and I kind of go through this pretty fast. So it should take under, around 7-8 minutes to warm them up. But the girls like it because it's jumping right into game-like situations. So yeah, this is called tennis, and it's starting with the throw, and then at the very end, the last little step, when it's 2-on-2, then you can serve in. So they're going to start off with the toss. Good. We're using this to warm up instead of your typical pepper. And then they will go into one pass, two pass, three pass, and it'll be essentially like 2 versus 2. So here they're pretty much just getting warm, but also working on sending free balls in good spots. Like that one was a good free ball, deep corner for kills. So they only have one touch, so then they didn't get that touch, so now the other team wins. And just like in Queens, the winning team goes to the winning side. And they can do any type of touch as long as they just use one touch. So Allie just hit it, and that was already 2 touches. They have 2, so essentially they should try to, that was good, pass it up and then hit it or tip it, making it a little bit more aggressive. And we'll quickly, that was good. Good job, Meredith. So we're still throwing it in, but we are about to go to a serve. They've got 3 touches to get the ball over and in, so it's kind of like 2-on-2. Still all about placement. All right, you can serve. You can serve. So now, same thing, 2-on-2, but just with a serve. Valley. All right, so this next drill is called All Around the World. And so I've played this game 2 different ways, but the way that we played it today in the video that I included is it's all individual. So they each have a goal to get all around the world. So they're going to start at the 1 spot, serving to the 1. Once they serve to that 1 spot, then they can move to the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we end it with a tape ball. So that's optional depending on if you wanted to, but this just allows them to practice spot serving, but then also they're competing against each other. So this is all around the world, and they are individually working on their spot serves. So individually, they all have to serve to the 1, then they can move to the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then finish with the tape ball serve. And so then the first person who gets all around the world to all of the spots on the court wins. So this next drill, they are working on their reaction time and diving out and going for tips. So I will have to say, the first time we did this, we realized that we needed to break down defense and how to dive. And so this is the second time we've done this season. But pretty much the girls are in one line. I've got 2 groups, so one's going and one's shagging. And they're just practicing reading. I have 2 balls in a hand, and they're practicing reading which hand I throw it out of, and diving out for it. So yeah, they like this just because they're having to dive out and get on the ground, and some girls are still scared to get on the ground. And so right now they're supposed to be focusing on their diving form and really showing effort and going for everything.
Good, Lizette.
So funny walking.
Nice, Addie.
Okay, so following that drill, we went into 10 touches. And in this drill, the girls are going until they get 10 touches. So, but you can advance this drill by giving them even harder balls, or slow it down for the younger girls by giving them higher tosses and just giving them more time to get to the ball. So you can kind of ease into this. So Michaela went pretty hard on our girls today. So pretty much they have to go until they get 10 balls. And it's mental strength too, because they get so tired and frustrated with themselves. But if they do not show effort, so if they're not diving out on it and showing effort to get to the ball, then the next ball becomes harder. So essentially they are, just like in the previous drill, practicing their diving form and reaction time and going for everything.
So this drill is called 10 touches. She's going to go until she gets 10 playable balls. Ashton's doing a pretty good job. She's on 6. So she's got to show effort to go for it, or the next ball is harder. So see how right here, Michaela's just going to keep making it harder until she dives out for it. There you go. There. This is a hard drill. You can modify it by obviously making it harder balls to get or easier balls to get at the younger age. So higher to give them more time, not using as much of the court, but still having them practice going and showing effort for everything. I know it's hard at that younger age to get them to go for balls and dive out for them. So you could modify by making this drill a little bit easier. Meredith is not diving out, so Michaela is going to keep giving her. There she goes. She dives out. Hard balls until they show effort.
Okay, so this next drill we are working on out of system hits. So I run a 5-1. So if my setter takes the first touch, then my libero or whoever's in middle back then takes the second touch and passes it to the outside pins, and then they're practicing swinging. So I'm giving a realistic down ball to my right back, so my setter is practicing passing it to the middle of the court instead of to setter spot, because that's where our libero would be, is in middle back. So she's practicing passing it to middle back, and then my defensive players are practicing dropping their shoulder and passing it to an outside pin. So it's super important that the girls are getting under the ball, getting their feet set, and dropping a shoulder and still shrugging and not just swinging it over to the outside pins. So this last drill, I like to call the hot seat, because we're pretty much putting one of our hitters in the hot seat. And so we started off today with a goal. We gave them 2 minutes and they had to get 5 balls in the target. So we set up targets. I used just the ball bags, and we put them in left back and right back. And so then I set up 3 girls, so in defense, so 1 in right back, 1 in middle back, and 1 in left back, then my setter, and then 1 of my hitters. So at this time, I'm just giving free balls, some down balls, a mixture to my defensive players. They're having to work together to get a good pass to the set, and then the setter's going to set the hitter, and the hitter has 2 minutes to get 5 balls in the target. So this was our first time that we had done this year. The majority of my girls got that the 5 minutes, or the 5 balls in 2 minutes was easy. So the next time we'll do it, we will advance the goal to probably around 8. We started with 10 balls in 2 minutes, and that was a little tough on them. So then that's why we dropped it to 5. So depending on your skill level of your team, then you can kind of adjust and modify however you think. But the girls really liked this drill. It put pressure on them. And then if they don't meet their goal, then they have a punishment kind of thing. But that's obviously optional. You can modify and adjust this drill however you'd like. But this just really allows the hitter to focus on targets and not just hitting the ball over.
way I'm going.